Hi all, we are going to see Nikto tools. So here we have Kali Linux already installed it in my system. So what we once see the tools is the kinds of very powerful tools that can run on the Linux server. So while talking about the Nikto tool, there is a lots of vulnerability assessment tool, web application security tools, dynamic tools for the penetration testing available. But here is also a very good application tools where we provide the target IP and what kinds of the vulnerabilities found in the web application server or your destination server, that will list the all vulnerability together. And so what is the basically Nikto, if we are talking about this, if we will open, because sometime just here it's running already, so I will stop this process. Yeah, it's up. So if I'm talking about the Nikto web server scanner is a security tools that will test a website maybe for a thousand of possibility security issue, including dangerous file like kinds of the PDL file, image, any kinds of misconfiguration services at the server side. And basically the misconfiguration at the server side, like clickjacking available, cross site scripting is available, at TTV attributes is available over there. So lots of the different the sometime HTTP method allowed, like get post head option, that can be also cause of the vulnerable things. So find out the misconfiguration services, kinds of vulnerable script and other risk related issues. And these plugins are frequently updated with the new security checks. So you can say the Nikto is a very powerful tool in kinds of manner to identify in a very short time and a very less timing to scanning the particular web server. So here we will start how try to scan it. So I have one web server here. So I will start. So first we what kinds of command need to provide us. So if you will type help, so we will come to see what kinds of command the Nikto tools provide. So there is a configuration tool for the configuration file display, turn on of display outputs. DB check is a very particular, and you can show the very informative and essential to check the database and other key files for the syntax error. Like whenever you are going to perform the kinds of the SQL injection method, find out which SQL injection vulnerability. So DB check is a very essential for that. Format is kinds of file format for the particularly basically kinds of format is the txt file format or some extension is there. Help, you already know who's for the part specifying the target. An ID is host authentication to use. Format is id.pos, or you will see the description over id.pos.realme. Plugins are related to the label plugins output. Any output files you are going to provide no SSL, that means you can want to disable the using SSL, you can disable it. Oh, okay. Then port you have to specify if web server using the which kinds of port you can web application server with using the ports, you can specify the port while scanning. And root file directory, SSL, and many kinds of force SSL scanning, tunneling to scan the tunnel, and timeout you can set for the request timeout. By default it's 10 seconds is set here. So update database and plugin from cirt.net for the update, and version you can show virtual host application features is available. So first I have to going to set one of my Yeah, server, like, see, in this command, if we'll, uh, okay, no problem, we'll see the IP. Nikto for the stash, H for the host. It's very slow right now. So we are going to see there was a scanning up there, so I will just use the same IP. Just copy it from here. Okay. Yeah, it is extremely very slow. Sorry about that. Then you specify the port 80. Okay. Then we will start scanning. So I have a destination server IP and I start using the scanning it. So you can see the information about the Nikto version and the software version, and it's start scanning. So it will be tell about the what kinds of server you have. So we have the Apache server over here, so you can see it. And server leak in nodes via tags header found with the file. You can see the lots of error start listing click jacking. Okay, anti click jacking x frame option is not set over here. That should be set, should be denied, or you have to set the same origin type for preventing the click jacking attack. And at the server side configuration, and next vulnerability, it's showing cross-site scripting, header is not defined, so that is also vulnerable. This website is also, web server is also vulnerable to the cross-site scripting. And the content type option header is not set, that will also vulnerable things. So yeah, it will take, actually my system is slow, that it will be take, maybe that it will be take the time. So I have scanned it already, not fully, but because it was taking the time. So the same scanning result is giving over there. So some vulnerability also found here related to the database here also. So this we can see some vulnerability, more vulnerability listing here. Apache mode negotiation is enabled with the multi-view. Okay, that will allow the attacker to easily brute force file name. So brute forcing the file name, you can see the path over here. ID value is given here. So obviously the index.html page that having the vulnerability. And some HTTP method post option gate and head is allowed over there, so that will be the cause of vulnerability too. And see, the number of this vulnerability 682. Visualizer may be installed version lower than 2.0 hyphen 09, vulnerable to the crash scripting. It's telling about the server configuration, server database configuration. So it's all about the listing over here right now. So while it's still in scanning, so maybe it will take a lots of time. So see, while scanning the, I'm just stopping the process. So it start scanning, and it will be finished, and finally it will be written either like a tested. Okay, fine. So if we want to just save this, the scanning output result, that will be very important. If you're scanning something, we don't have a output file, so that will be problem. What we are scanning can forget it, because whenever you are going to close, it will be like prompt window page will be closed. So for that purpose, we have to specify any output file in any format we can save it. So I'm just here typing like, I'm typing Nikto, give it some name is scan. Okay, and minus f. sorry, yeah, -f for specifying the format for like we are using the tst file. Okay, so if you can enter, if we start scanning and then finish scanning it, it will save the file. Okay, over there it's not kinds of, if it will finish the scanning and then it will see whatever is scanning on the screen, it will meantime in the real time it will going to be saved in a file where whenever you need that scanning result you can find out from the file. Okay, so that was the Nikto that what I say it's good for kinds of fast scanning some for the particular web server, because we have a different kinds of tool in the market right now. Some tools uh, uh, find out the vulnerability, and they have maybe because a lots of tools find the vulnerability kinds of the false positive alarm. So it's not necessary that if any other tools is find this vulnerability and saying that it's high on the severity basis, if he's saying it's critical, it's high, or maybe not high. Okay, so it's not necessary that the other tools are saying this is the high vulnerability, this is the critical vulnerability, so it should be correct. So better way to say like better way to do it, because we should first test what kinds of vulnerabilities there, and it's critically going to be impact our the web server or web application server or web application database. So there was a quick approach for Nikto. So if I having okay, we have a Mozilla web browser here, and I have set the proxy over here. So if we'll go to the no very powerful tools. Okay, we talk about the Warp suite. Let's just make it on. So it's not a kinds of professional edition, it's community edition, because we don't have a license right now. So I'm just checking into here, but what we wanted to just proof it, we can proof it easily, so there is no need of professional version over here. So that Nikto, so this website is vulnerable to the cross-site scripting. So how it's vulnerable to the cross-site scripting, we will show by the Bob Suit Community Edition. Okay, so Bob Suit is opening right now, and okay. So basically for the penetration testing and the dynamic black box testing, it's a very powerful Bob Suit. It's a very powerful tool to identify when lots of vulnerability, thousands of vulnerability is available. Whatever it's involved in the web server application, you can find out easily. So here are some proper setting like scanner is a tab that you can see. This tab is not enabled because it's community version, not kinds of professional version. If it will be the professional version, here will be actively scanning and passive scanning. Actively scan, you can see the option here is actively scan this branch and passively scan this branch. So it's not in scope, it will be available in the professional version. And issue definition, okay, in the professional version also you can see the status over here while crawling by crawling by the passively scanning, and issue and his detail about the issue and his remediation, the preventing the issue, all kinds of details would be available in the professional version. It will be shown by the vulnerability, respective to the vulnerability, but here it's not mentioned. Here it's not inbuilt into this, so we're not going to talk about the intruder repeater. You know it already. Intruder is there whenever you find some vulnerability and you have the You get the payload in the position, you are just intercepting this, and you will start to making it attack like a bob suit attack. So intruder should be used over there. Repeater kinds of request and response. You are incepting some request and just sending to the server, and while server is giving the response back to your browser, so that will be using the repeater. So we're not going to compare and decoder right now. And one best things about the spider, while you are your box suit is scanning some result from for the web application server, try to find out the vulnerability over capturing the get in post method as a TP request. Meanwhile, spidering is pause over there. If you make it on, whenever your spider is on running, so it's not kinds of the particular either out. Maybe it's in scope and out of scope, and out of scope. Spider is going to be out of the scope the things, and is giving the lots of input, and just checking investigating the request and just putting into your scanning results so that you can find out. Maybe sometime it's have to see kinds of the different angle from the different angle to find out some particular vulnerability over there. So spidering is yeah, you can see use this setting monitor to control the bug spider to begin spidering browse the target application. Okay, that is right, making the how to do it. So proxy, yeah, proxy, yeah, make it like make it off right now, and the target. So okay, we are all set to go. So now what we will do, we will go to the web browser, and we will try to access this website, and we will try to find out all in scope links, all in scope pages where we will be click any link is given there, we will be click onto that, and let's see what kinds of the scenario getting captured by the bob suit. So first it's we are at home, so we will click on this link. We'll click on this link up. Also there is some the link is there. This is inside this code. We'll click it. We'll click on the next page. Click on the link. So I'm one by one, I'm going to click on the pages right now because I wanted to capture all this click page in our box so that we can find some really interesting over there, and request with the parameter also. So whatever I'm finding it, I'm clicking onto that. Let's see anything left. No, okay. So okay, now it's done. What was the content? I have given onto that. If you want, you can click into that also. Okay, let's minimize it. We will come back to the bob shoot now. So let's see what happened to the bob shoot right now. What? Okay. Okay. So you can see the list. It's type web w3, or it's work of spidering right now. So some spidering work is here. You can see this one. Okay, listed. So I don't know if we are going to spidering. Let's see what spidering having. The spider is running in the request keyword 0 from keyword 0. That means spider has been done his work. So every possibility spider has been checked already. So it's already included in the scanning result over here. So while going to the target, just click onto that If you want to go into the some particular things, we will see the what I'm initialization. Then what is this? We will click onto that for the particular result. Okay. There is some HTML get request is there. There is some PDF format get request is there. Okay. So I'm going to the complete this link and parameter will show. Okay. 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 Let's take this example. Uh, I'm going to send it to the repeater right now. So see, it's going to be vulnerable to. Uh, we just check a crash site scripting reflected one. So let's see. Okay. Mm, okay, no problem. Take it anyone. Request intruder. I'm just putting it into intruder. Then repeater. Yeah, here we will try to see it now. See, you can see the parameter over here. One parameter and the cookie is the second parameter. So you can see this parameter. We will try to type something over here. Anything you want it, just make it right. Okay, I'm putting here hello one. Okay, I think it's not correct. Okay, hello one. Okay. So I'm just making a request to the server right now. So let's see what server is going to be reply. So what I have changes in a C parameter value, I have changes in the place of the number. I have changed my value. Anything like health, I have inject some character over here. So I will like to see in the response field my hello is showing or not. Let's see. Okay, okay. Yeah, I think it's not coming here. So let's capture for something different. We will capture, no problem. Just show, okay, delete this one. Hello, where was the hello one, right? Okay, no, not found. So we'll again go to the tar. We have to specify one by one target because we're not sure in which we will find something like this. Okay. So while scanning, I got one page over here. If you can see the page, auto IT method get index page. Okay. So I just send it to repeater. So let's go to the repeater. What we will see, what we are getting over there. So okay. So we are getting the one parameter on this PSP request. So we'll try to intercept this parameter. say if I put it anything hello, I'm just putting hello one. Okay, okay, send this request by clicking go to. So we will say in the response page our hello one is reflecting in the response page that is coming from the server. Hello one, yeah, exact, correct, it's matching to she what we are injecting here anything that's while going to the server is coming the response to the browser, it's the same message is showing into the response page. That means this is the vulnerable thing. So what we will do here, if we will because here it's not any single or double close is there, less than or greater than tab, any close is not there. So simply we use we try to put the for the checking purpose we will try to put some script, JavaScript over here. Type it script. If wanted to some just see the alert function, so we'll just put the alert one, and we'll just put close the script. Okay, close the script. Okay, so again we will forward this request to server and let's see what happened. It's giving me the request or not. Yeah, it's giving me the request back. So what I will see, I will see how it's going to be vulnerable to the reflected cross-site scripting or not. Just right click on this request page and just wanted to check so response in the browser. So I'm just copying it, copy it. Let's see, we will see into a browser right now what happening over there while the loading this page. Open the new tab here, just paste it, just make it enter. Oh yeah, we got it. So here you can see we can run our the script malicious javascript code on the web server page. So that we have been proved. Okay, so it's very kinds of critical, we can make it our the payload in javascript, and while uh, doing this from Bob suite, we can just put the payload and just we can exploit this vulnerability, and whatever you are writing in a JavaScript code that will give you the information, like if you wanted to steal the cooking and cookie information, that the server will send you the cookie information, so your browser can cookie information will be sent to your browser and you can compromise the cookie and session over there. So compromising this you can gain the access to the web server. Okay, uh, and another things, if there is any user profile is there, you can also compromise the user by using his session and another stealing the cookie information and the session token. So that was my point to prove it. So this is how we can identify the site is the particular vulnerable to these things or not. So this is not sometimes you have to be very patient while testing all of it. It will take a lots of time, but whatever it's there, we have to test manually which request is going to be compromised or not. So that's it. All we have to make it patience, make it focus into that, and we can test the different scenario over there. Sometimes it's very good thing to give it some time to find out some other kinds of vulnerability. So okay, and lots of three to four things are there. That there has been some event2.php. Okay, nothing is pointed. Maybe it's crawled by the spider. I'm not sure. So maybe possible it had been listed. We, if you wanted to check it, we can check it. And lots of parameter. You can see the ID 31C70. All this, I think, parameter is going to be vulnerable if you are going to be check SQL injection type over here. So yeah. So okay. Thanks for just. It was just a kind of a very basic overview on Bob Shoot and. Okay, so we'll find out some more interesting things on the Bob suit, and I'm kind of not also the expert in the Bob suit, and very initial. I'm also in the initial phase in the Bob suit, so trying and searching different things and putting a lots of effort to the learn and intercept all kinds of request and response and find out in the different types of vulnerability. And one more thing is there, if you are right now a beginner like me, so it is better to first, if you can just collect the information about the vulnerability and also what kinds of vulnerability mostly found over here or not. Okay, so if we're coming to the scanner, you can see the issue definition here. Is there a list with lots of vulnerability? Mostly we were going to for the interview process in a lots of in a cybersecurity domain or pen test and testing or in an ethical hacking environment. You can see the bug bounty hunting. So I'm very pretty much sure I have been giving the interview right now, and I can see the many related question to what I can see here, the vulnerability listed over there. The people ask about the same question, and whatever its severity is low, medium, high, critical. So mostly I mean to say like most of the interview question is going to 50-60% is going to be, if any vulnerability the interviewer going to be asked, that will be matched from here. So but I'm also learning this thing, also reading this thing. So I would like to request you guys to just go through it and try to understand it. If you are not finding something relevant content over here, so you can go to the Google, you can search it, you can go to the YouTube. Lots of video has been published over there, so that will be really helpful. So that's how I'm also preparing for it, and I'm the new in this the ethical hacking environment. So I'm looking for the best opportunity and the best career guidance also. Okay, thanks for watching. I'm going to close this video. Hope we will meet soon in the next video. Okay, thanks for watching.